Great.
I missed my seatbelt.
Oh, my Lord. All right, here we go.
Should we state name, occupation, marital status?
Go ahead.
My name is Katelyn Simon. I'm taken, period.
Oh, my God.
Got a man. He's hot. Don't hit him up. I'm just playing. You can't. He's nice. What else we got? I'm going to school. I'm at SIUE, Edwardsville. Go Cougs. We love little men. Oh, God.
Someone said Goku's.
Goku's.
And I was like, huh?
Oh, like Goku.
Yeah.
Like the anime. Okay. All right.
Peyton Wicks, single teacher. Let's go.
A teacher.
Yeah.
Do you like teaching? Like, legitimately. Like, what do you get out of teaching? As being like a teacher, what do you get out of it?
That's a good question. I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately. I texted one of my friends the other night and I was like, hey, I don't know how I'm doing this whole teaching thing. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I love to help people, but like, why did I choose teaching if I just want to help people?
And you have that like drive towards things like you like want to do, but sometimes you don't know like why you do. Like with me in nursing, like I'm in school to be a neuropsychologist now. I went such a jump from being nursing to neuropsychology, and
right.
I still, like you said, like I want to help people, but I don't necessarily want to be a nurse, and that's okay.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. I love being a teacher. Like, I've done my field experience and stuff, and it's been a really good time. Like, it's been something.
Right.
It's been an experience, that's for sure.
Right.
But half of me is like, why am I choosing teaching? Of all things. Like, there's so many other ways I can do if I just want to help people. Like, I can go into psychiatry.
What is psychiatry? Is that a stupid question? Am I ignorant? Is it like counseling?
I don't think so.
No.
Off the top of my head, not knowing like the actual like dictionary definition, psychiatry is like like the shrinks that people go see. Like your psychiatrist.
And this sexy little car approaching. I'm gonna name her Mary. Hey, Mary. Mary.
Why? Because she's red?
Yeah, she's a sexy little red car. So it's literally a guy that looks like the Tiger King in the car.
No. Okay, but because like I've always told people, like the reason I want to become a teacher is because I want to help people and I want to like be a person that was there for me.
Right.
Because I don't want people to like go through what I went through. Like I was sad. Like I was depressed.
Like unsure of your.
Yeah, but like junior year of high school, like we had Miss Prong, we had Miss Hurd come, and it was like, wow, these are two teachers like
influential,
really
strong women.
Yeah, and I was like, holy crap, these people like are leading me on the right track. They're making me feel like I actually belong. So I'm like, I want to be that for students.
Right.
And I just know like high school teachers are who get like the most interaction time with people
and they get
that
not
age.
Enough pay.
Well, yeah. Well, that's one thing. Everyone's like, oh, why are you going into teaching as a profession? Like, they don't get paid anything. And I'm like, you don't think I knew that before I decided that's what I was going to school for?
Because a lot of people, they base their occupation and, like, what they want to be based on the pay. Like, you can't tell me you were 4 years old talking about, I want to be a nurse, and, like, not being like, I want money. Like, you go into a job.
Like, I know going into being a teacher, I'm not going to get, like, a stupid amount of money.
Right.
Like, a bill's just passed for teachers to make $40,000 a year.
40,000.
Yeah. Like, it's not the teachers don't make anything.
Yeah, it's not shit.
But I mean, it's like I'm still going to school the same amount of time as these other people that
nurses,
make
doctors.
6 figures.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only 5 figures.
Really
Yeah, 6 figures.
I only have 10 fingers.
I'm an English major. I can't do math.
You're like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's all very weird. I was thinking lately, I'm like, okay, I want to help people. And I'm just like, what if I go into a medicine of some sort?
Yeah, that's where you were telling me you like want to be a nurse. But you like don't know what
like sports medicine or something. But it's
physical therapy?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know the first thing about sports and sports injuries. I don't even think I've ever taken an anatomy class.
I've always thought about like physical therapy and like speech therapy.
Yeah.
And like
it just sucks because like the knowledge that I have now of those things is just what I've gathered from other people that have that.
Well, that's what's so important about like small schools, because obviously we went to a really small school, so like you don't get the opportunity to learn about things that could be really cool in life, because we have such a small environment and a small community that's so enclosed and not very diverse at all. Like when it comes, not even diverse like when it comes to like races, but like from opportunities, jobs, you know, like careers, we have no idea. I didn't even know what neuropsychology was. I didn't even know it was a thing. Psychology, I thought, was just human behavior, but it's so much like deeper than
and
that.
what sucks is it's not even like the teachers didn't provide it,
It's just like,
or like they couldn't provide it.
Right.
It's just that it wasn't available to us. Like I guarantee the teachers that we had could do that for us, because we had brilliant teachers. We had amazing people that were educating us. Oh,
and I feel like she was the only teacher that ever talked to me about my race, that literally sat me down, because I was telling you, like, that's really what I wanted to talk about, like when you asked me for this video.
Right.
I really wanted to talk about like mixed race identities, and like sitting down with someone who is of mixed races and has no idea what the hell is going on. Like coming from like an all-white school, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I was like bullied for being black, but I was definitely individualized. Yeah. I was very like,
we just gotta think there
like
was
slavery, and they were all like, and I'm like, you know,
and
like,
we gotta think there was three African American students, and they were all from the same family.
Right, like literally my brothers, and then there was one guy who I wasn't related to, but and his little brother, but they were adopted.
And it's not. I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but
it's like, I mean, it's like I had no idea of my own like identity, and the people that I had were in the same battle with me because they were dealing with the same shit. So it's not like they could sit down and be like, Katelyn, what do you think? I don't even know, big dog. Like I'm just chilling. Like and then so like when like racial slurs would come up and come about, I wouldn't defend myself. I didn't know to defend myself.
I remember one time, I cannot remember the exact instance, but I remember it happening. Someone said a term, like a slur, and you like snapped around, and you were like, hey, we may have been out of high school at this point. We may have been like fresh out of high school. I don't know, but I remember you got like very
but see how long that took me?
Yeah, you got like very protective, because it's like you were finally like okay with yourself, like interrupting and being like, hey, that's not okay.
Right. And but look how long that took me. But anyway, back to Senora. Like, she's the first like teacher to sit me down, and it's like, do you take care of your hair? I was like, I wash it. She's like, oh, princess. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, do you deep condition? Do you do leave-in conditioner? Do you like, you know, do all of this? Have you used a product? Have you used a styling cream? Have you diffused your hair? Do you wrap your hair? Do you plop your hair? I'm like, what are these terms? I'm like, is this a gang? I'm like, please. And she like, but like you said, like it's hard for teachers that come into a small school with one main focus. They can't teach diversity classes. No. Like Miss Cabranica, she was a math teacher. What do you expect her to do? To step out of that and tell you how to be a young woman? They didn't have time for that. They're like, and that's why,
especially being so new
on it. Right. She didn't feel comfortable saying any of that stuff.
And that's one thing, like it was her first year, Miss Veronica's, it was her first year at the school when like I really like grew close to her.
Right.
Like I felt so like safe being around her and Miss Heard, just because they, I don't know, they weren't as like closed off as other teachers had seemed to be.
And teachers like are very important, like just in general. I feel like teachers are so
8 hours a day, 5 days a week with them for what, 15 years of our life?
Right.
That's not a small portion.
Right. And they take so much time into
and they take so much crap.
Yeah, they take everybody's shit
like
back and forth.
Like you get the students that like disrespect them constantly or like don't care about anything, and they don't have to reach out. It's not their job to like reach out and see how you're doing. Granted, like they do have obligations of like what they have to do to be a teacher,
right?
And like what it takes, but they don't have to be like. Have to be your counselor. They don't have to come up to you and be like, "Are you okay?"
Right.
But we have those teachers that did, and I want to be that kind of teacher because, like, I know from my experiences. Yes, there are cows, Katelyn.
Why are they all laying down?
They're tired.
It's a beautiful day.
They're tired. Don't yell.
Get up.
Don't yell at the cows. But
anyway,
that's the kind of teacher I want to be because I know what I looked like when I was going through things, and I know what my friends looked like because, like, plenty of my friends went through hardships in high school. So I know what that looks like, and I know that I can look at a student and be like, hey, talk to me. What's going on?
Right.
You can trust me.
And there are, like, it's so hard because you're just human. You know, it's so hard for a teacher, especially a young teacher, to, like, I know if I were a teacher, I would be really worried about my children's mental health. And there's a lot of teachers out there that are not like that.
And I feel like that's the difference. Now that, like, getting, like, the correct terminology, like, we're Gen Z or whatever, we're soft, but we're not pushovers completely. Like, we understand what people are going through.
It's not, and then sometimes even if we don't understand, is it empathize or sympathize? Oh my God.
Empathize, I think, is a feeling that you have gone through. Sympathize is you have gone through it.
Okay, yeah. So, like, it's, you know, it's easy.
We can empathize with them. Like, hey, I understand what you're going through. Like, I may not have gone through it myself, but I understand.
But I can understand why you would feel the way you feel.
Exactly.
He's not trying to be back.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Working on furniture. Lame.
No, but it's just like, why is teaching what I want to do? And I know I just like listed all these reasons. It's like, I want to be there for kids. Like, why can't I do that as a psychiatrist?
Right. Like, why was I drawn to teaching?
But then it's like all these other things come into my head. It's like, I didn't want to go see like a psychiatrist.
Right.
I was like, oh, go see someone? Oh, that's weak. Like, that shows that I'm weak.
Especially,
like, it took me 18 years to get put on medication.
Right. And especially with, like, masculinity being such a sensitive subject, when someone says, like, I'm a woman, you don't get to question shit. If she's a woman, let her poo. You ain't got no. Well, but when you're a man,
and it's like, quit acting like a pussy.
Right.
It hurts.
Don't get me wrong. It sucks for, like, women too. Sometimes we can't act the way we want to. We don't seem to get really mad. We must be calm, but we must assert our opinion. But at the same time, stay quiet because you're being too loud. You're not a woman. But at the same time, with men, you can't cry. You're being a woman.
Yeah.
Like, you can't complain. Stop being a pussy.
It's so, like, out of the norm for men to show up.
Right. It's so toxic. So when you, like, are dealing with depression, anxiety, like, body insecurities, stuff like that, like, you, as a man, I feel like it is a little bit harder to talk and, like, reach out to get help with someone about it, because it's like, they're so used to being told, dad bod, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and you're like, okay, but I'm not comfortable with that myself, and so it's done a mental toll. Yeah. And it's so hard for people to, like, for men especially.
I just now, like, within the past year, got comfortable with how I look. Like, I've always been a bigger person. Right. And it's like, everyone's like, oh, just, like, work out, just eat healthy.
You're like, it's so much.
It's so much to do. Right. And, like, it's a mental fortitude thing. Like, I have to want, and, like, I do want, but it's the process of going through it. It's not like, oh, ate a salad, why do I still look like this? It's like, no, you have to be consistent with it. And that's one thing that sucks, is people don't get that it's a consistency thing.
And I feel like something that's really slept on is, like, people, like with mental, like, proposed mental illnesses, and you're trying to deal with a physical, like...
What do you mean pre-proposed? Like self-diagnosed?
Or no, just like... I don't feel like you necessarily have to be, like, diagnosed to know that you're really sad. And,
yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
Like, for what? You know what I mean? Like, and you have no idea. And you're like, but I'm just, like, really sad, and I don't know how to handle it. And then not only that, you're now with the hurdle of trying to lose weight. And sometimes there's people out there that lose weight not for themselves. And so now that you've lost all this weight, it wasn't healthy.
What do you do with it? Yeah.
Right. Like, what did you... And then the weight loss in general... And then I feel like, especially with men, because then again, there comes the toxic masculinity of not being able to sit down with a man and ask him his feelings. It took my boyfriend 1 year to sit down and tell me, I'm sad. Like, that's... And he felt like he couldn't. Because he's like, I don't want to be seen as pussy.
Well, that's one thing. Me and, like, Hunter and Mason, all of them, we try to make sure that, like, people know they can open up to us. They can be honest with themselves around us. Like, we're not going to judge you.
And that's so hard to find a group of men like that. Like, that's men.
put your feelings out there. Like, let us know how you feel so we can know how to help you in this situation that you're going through. Like, don't just hold it all in. That's something that all of us have gone through. Just holding it in to a point where it hurts.
It then becomes toxic, not only for yourself, but for everyone
the people
else.
around you.
Right.
Like, you're holding in all this frustration with yourself that you burst out. You're hurting the people around you. And you may not realize it right there, but then you, like, look back on it. And it's like, I can't believe I said... I've done that plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
Where I've been so upset and I'll just, like, blow people off. Or I'll say a snarky comment and I'll leave and I'll be like, I can't believe I just said that.
And they're like, what the fuck is his problem?
Yeah, but if I go back, it's like... Would they be okay with me going back? Would they appreciate that I said sorry? Or did they even notice that I said that?
Right.
That like ties into anxiety and all that.
Right. And of course, and not only weight loss is such
weight loss, even weight gain.
I can't like and that is something
it's
that is so
two sides of the
on.
spectrum.
Right. And it's something that not a lot of people take into perspective, that there are like
people that hate how skinny they are.
That are like, I wish I was a little more buff. But I can't gain weight.
Yeah.
Why? Why am I the one that can't
buff?
do it?
Even if they just wish they weighed
a little more.
They wish they looked different. Like we've both seen people that are like tiny, like absolutely small.
Yeah.
And you don't want to bring that up. You never want to bring up someone's weight because you don't know if they're comfortable with it or if they're not.
Or if there's an underlying issue.
Exactly. You know? But if they bring it up, then like you want to open it up for conversation.
Right.
Like. So,
like
if someone's like, I can't, like, it sounds like a far-fetched situation, but it's like, I can't believe how skinny I am. It's like, people say that, just like, I can't believe how big I am. Like, it's two sides of the same coin.
Right.
Like,
and
it's not like, just...
It's so, like, it's so hard for people, again, men with mental issues, dealing with their weight and their insecurity in the form of weight. So, like, if you have, and then, like, height, too. Like, so many men are like so insecure with the like how tall they are, how short they are, and then you've got masculinity.
All of my friends are like under 6 foot, except for like JT.
Right.
And it's, I don't just like flex on people. I'm like, yeah, I'm 6'3".
6'3". Okay.
Yeah, no.
Bigger and manlier.
It's like I'm part of a small group of people that just happen to be a little bit taller.
Right. And
like I'm not gonna look down. Metaphorically, look down. I am going to look down at you, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're short, you're lesser than me.
Less of
it's
a
like,
man.
No, I know plenty. Like this 5'9" dude, I know 5'10" maybe. He'll kick my ass.
Like he
and I have
will
an immense respect for him.
Right.
Like it's those things that you don't think about.
It's those things that it's not even like it's things that aren't talked about enough to be thinking about. It's things that like, and that's why I keep like sticking with the fact of men, because I feel like with females, we're very open with how some are not.
Yeah.
But it's very like with men, I feel like it's so hard for them to open up and say, hey, look, I'm really unhappy with how small I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really unhappy with how unhappy I am. Like, and but if they bring it up, they're a pussy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I guess my message that I wanted to portray right now is that men are fighting some of the same insecurity battles that women are, and yes, we fight them differently.
But we're going through the same things.
They're going through the same things.
Well, it's like in media, we see more emphasis on women battling weight differentials.
Mm-hmm.
Like we see
plus size.
We see Lizzo, who is a bigger woman, and she flaunts it. Like she's
right, and everybody's
big,
like,
she's proud. Yeah, but then we see, I can't even think of like
there's a male dancer.
Skinny.
He was, oh my god, his Central Intelligence, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Okay, and he was like dancing, and but he was in the shower naked. It was Dwayne The Rock Johnson in high school, but he was obese in high school. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
and he was like, wah, 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 and he like had his hands up, but he was like dancing, but he was a bigger man.
Yeah.
And so when we see that, we immediately go to laughing and joking about it.
We immediately go to, oh, he's bullied.
Right. Like, oh wow, he's fat.
The big person can't.
The big
be
person, he can't defend himself. Like,
and that's exactly what the movie shows.
Right, and that's so important with media portraying.
But then we see like the evolution at the end of the movie. But that's not the point. This isn't a movie review.
But it's sad that the media
was like, oh, he's a big guy.
Right, make him skinny, he's gonna glow up. I understand the glow up and the mental glow up that comes with losing weight or gaining weight, but we don't talk about the fact that obese people are happy.
Okay, I know I just said, like, get off the movie, but, like, back to the movie. He was still afraid. Like, he had a... Oh, what? You were using a term for it earlier.
I don't know.
Oh, you were talking about how, like, you still feel big even though you're not.
I said that so nice, too. I should be a poet. Oh, my God.
No, but anyway,
that's where you
like
insert the thing. He has such a way with words. But anyway, you're a big person with a big mindset, and then you go to being a small person with a big mindset.
Yeah. It's like you accomplished it. You lost all this weight. You look great. You feel not so great.
Right.
Like, you still feel
You've done all
big.
of this for yourself, and you've done everything you can for yourself because you've wanted to lose the weight. Whether it was it was diagnosed by a doctor, whether it was diagnosed by yourself, you don't like the way you look, whatever it may be. And that's vice versa too. You're a small person with a small mentality. You become a bigger person, or a person that has become physically in your eyes fit. And now, you still have that small, petite mindset.
It's like I've grown taller, and with growing taller, like, I have gotten looking skinnier. Like, I'm still not skinny by any means, but I still have, like, this big mentality.
Right.
Like,
you think that you're bigger than
like I said, I'm not small. Like, that's the sad truth.
Right.
But, like, I'm happy with where I am right now. Like, I'm pretty comfortable in almost everything that I wear, how I look, everything. But I still feel like I'm that short, stubby, just hideous creature that I felt like.
Right. And it's and then again, there it is with, like, the masculinity, like, excuse me, where it comes with, like, before you can lose weight, you have to lose weight on your shoulders. You cannot sit there and tell me that you can be completely, utterly sad, like, to the point where you're not getting up out of bed, taking care of yourself every day, and then expect to follow a diet constantly.
Yeah.
Like, and then, like, there it comes with weight loss. When people think of diet, you don't think, oh my God, I'm on a diet. You think of, like,
oh my God, I am
motherfucking diet. Like, I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You're on a diet. Like, that's what you think of. So instead of, like, and I feel like people really need to change it. It's freaking sucks. And people, like, you have to, like, really change that mentality before you can go into weight loss. You cannot sit there and tell me that you're going to look at a diet and be like, ew. And, like, it's going to last.
Yeah. You have to work out your mind before you work out your body.
Period. Then there's that meme. You're going to have so many memes in this video. Just period.
Yeah. Like,
get that weight off your shoulders and you can get the weight off your love handles. You heard me?
Okay. Yeah!
Yeah, you said yeah!
No, but it's a lot. We transitioned very far from the original topic.
What was
we were talking about teaching.
That's how these comrades are supposed to go.
I guess that all kind of helps a big bump.
I'm not paying you for shit. You're a crappy Uber. I'm kidding. I never meant that.
I'm hurt. No, but I feel like I said earlier, like, us being Gen Z really has nothing to do with it. But it's just us seeing how everyone was treated growing up. Like, we saw people that were idolized for how fit they were, for how perfect in people's eyes they were. But we also saw how looked down upon people were. And I think that's where me coming as a teacher goes. I see how all these people, I saw how those different statuses kind of interacted. So I'll be able to pick that out as a teacher and help people.
Because you can be rich, you can be poor, regardless. If you're sad, you're sad. You're gonna cry with Louis Vuitton. You're gonna cry in a cardboard box. But you're sad, you're sad. I don't want to hear shit.
And the big thing, go get help.
Period.
Reach out.
Period.
Which very, like, hypocritical for me, because I still hold things in. But
understandably.
Yeah, it's like some things you just don't feel comfortable no matter what.
You can tell, and it's.
But eventually it does come out.
They're like, you can talk to me. Can I?
Can I?
Because
that's
you know,
the thing.
are you ready for these demons? I've got 3 girls in the back, and they're like, "You're not ready for these hoes because no one is. They're my demons."
I'm not even ready for them, but I live with them.
Right, like these homies, they are so messy. Like, and I feel like when I did not understand mental illness until both of my brothers. One got diagnosed with depression and anxiety. The other one, he has borderline personality disorder. And I did not understand the basis and like the ground level of mental illnesses until both of them hit their, not their peak, but like the
low.
Right,
Just hitting the low.
The dull of it. Is he gonna slow down? He kind of
Great question.
whipping and
But expanding on that, being in your brother's class, I never noticed any of that. I just saw an angry person.
And you never sit down and never like...
Exactly. Never like put 2 and 2 together. That like something may have been wrong. I was just like,
sometimes it's lack of education. It's ignorance. You don't know.
Exactly.
To look.
And like now, it's like, feels bad. Because like, I was sad. No one checked up on me. Were they thinking the same thing I was? Like, man, this kid's just like having a bad day.
Right.
No, it's just bad.
Did they look at you and like, why is he so sad all the time?
Exactly.
They didn't think, why is he so sad all the time?
Yeah, it's like looking at your brother. It's like, why is he so angry all the time?
Like, why is he
all angry all the time?
And that's why I was so like protective of him.
Yes.
Because I didn't know. I didn't ask the questions either. And there's a lot of, you have to reach out because if
We just see it as bullying.
Right.
We just see it as like negligence across classmates.
And I'm just like, but that's why I was so like protective of him, because I knew that he was vulnerable, but I didn't know in what way.
Yeah.
He wasn't small. Like, he is not a small individual.
And he wasn't unpopular in high school.
Right. It's not like he was bullied, but he definitely was vulnerable.
He was definitely singled out at
You could look at him and say
times.
something, and he would lose it.
Yes.
In anger. But
and we wouldn't know why.
Right.
But now that like we're out of high school, we've seen the world a little bit. We now understand what that is, like where that comes from, how that feels, because we've experienced it more and more, even if it's not with us.
And that's there again, the small schools with the lesser opportunities to go and see the world.
Well, we didn't have a counselor.
When did we get a counselor? Like sophomore year for me, junior year for you?
But it was an education counselor.
Right, and then
it wasn't something that we could go to in confidence and talk to. But of course, as soon as we graduate, that's when we get it. Which I am so glad that the students now have that.
When did they get a counselor?
They have Miss Capriati now. I'm pretty sure she's like someone that can like.
I thought she was.
You can talk to. But it's like we didn't have.
You should probably go get that.
It's fine.
I'll go. No cap. You okay?
No,
okay.
But it's great knowing that kids have someone to look to now. Even if it's like teachers being more open and aware of everything.
Yeah. And there was something on Facebook talking about how sometimes school is a kid's safe zone.
Yeah.
They never know what's going on in their home life. And so with the lack of a counselor, with lack of someone you can go to and talk about, when are they going to talk about it? Like, when are they ever going to sit down with someone and say, hey, my mom is too busy hitting me and my brothers to pay attention to my mental health. So don't run out here. That little squirrel.
That's a big boy.
That's a big boy.
Well, yeah.
That's a big bitch.
I know.
God.
I would go to school and I'd be like, okay, I'm good here. Not that anything was wrong at home.
Yeah.
But it's just like I was at home, I was alone, I was thinking.
Alone.
I was there by myself, just holding everything in, just letting it marinate.
Right. Sometimes.
And then it just comes out.
Right. Out of nowhere, too.
Exactly. But at school, I know I'm distracted. Like I have friends to talk to, I have teachers, I have stuff to do.
And that's sad that sometimes people think that having a distraction is better than confronting your demons.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes you do need to take your mind off of things because thinking about it too much will cause a lot of emotional turmoil. But the fact that some people think that having a distraction is a coping mechanism is very bad. Like sometimes, and the distraction can be really physically bad for you. Like toxic mentally and physically.
People.
Like alcohol.
Exactly. Alcohol. Smoking. Things like that.
Drugs, sex. Yeah.
Things that can negatively impact you. or even if it's just like eating,
and not
just
in moderation.
Eating. Yeah.
Right. Emotional eating is such a thing.
It's like,
have you seen My 600-Pound Life? You know what they say in the beginning of every show? Well, I've been big since I was a kid, and my dad passed away.
they were sad.
They're sad. You're gonna eat.
Eating.
I was alone, so I was gonna eat. I'm gonna eat. Emotional baggage. And then most of the time in the show, Dr. Now, he's like, "Hey y'all, here's a counselor."
Yeah.
And then they start shredding like weight like crazy. And sometimes it is self-motivation, and sometimes they don't have that emotional baggage. But most of the time, when overeaters overeat, it's because they're emotional. When people don't eat, it's because they're emotional.
Yeah.
And then, you know, is that a cop?
Where?
He's right. Oh.
Oh, I was like, I hope not, because I don't think I'm going the speed limit.
You said cruising.
No, but it's a big deal. I don't like when people act like it's not.
Right. Or when people act like that mental illness is slept on. They're just like, it's not my problem.
Exactly.
I don't want to deal with it.
But it's...
And then there's that difference of being a friend and being a counselor.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, and it's obviously when you have someone like that is so used to talking to you about things, they come to you in comfort, and you don't want to tell them like no, but sometimes
You need to.
you really do. You need to tell them like, there's a point where I cannot help you anymore.
Yeah.
Like
I
there's
can
a
steer
point.
you in the right direction,
Right.
but I
Let
can't
me call.
change what you
Let me go with you to
see a professional.
right to go see a counselor. Let me go with you to a meeting.
And that's
like
like in schools. They're your teacher, they're not your friend.
right. You cannot get mad at them when they check you in class because you've been talking the whole time. They're trying to teach.
Yeah.
Like you're being loud. Shut up, sis. That's why I was really thinking about being a teacher, but like being a elementary school teacher.
Right.
You gotta teach them young.
Yeah.
It's okay to cry. Look at me, you're a man. Cry. Like in all seriousness, like you, and that's where it's like the root of things. Like the root of everything is when you're a child, because that's when you're learning. That's when you're experiencing new things every single day. Children look at things and they're like, "That's a hat. My dad wears a hat. I want a hat." You know, like, and then they're influenced by other people. And if that other person looks at you and says, "You can't cry. You're a man," not even in those words, you have this guy in the back of your head, the man that you look up to, the woman you look up to, looking at you and saying you can't do that based on your
Well, if you're looking at
gender.
it that way, then once you think more junior high than elementary,
What would you say?
junior high, whenever like you're really starting to become who you are as a person, you're really starting to develop.
Right.
Like I know,
Like middle school, junior
yeah,
high. That
when
might be
I was in junior high, I was like, I've always tried to be a nice person, and that always came across as supposedly feminine. I wasn't an asshole.
Right.
Like I would help you.
You're a
I would
fuckboy.
do this. Yeah. Well, in junior high we didn't have that term.
Right.
But like I was
Flair.
I was friends with all the girls
Because they felt
because
comfortable
all the
talking to each
guys
other.
were assholes. Like don't get me wrong, I became friends with them in high school once we finally realized that they were being assholes.
You're being a dick, so let me know when you're not.
Yeah. But like I was friends with all the girls in junior high, but that was when all the guys would come and be like, "That's gay." Like why
Right, and
like
that
you're
is
gay,
so
you're
hard.
a faggot. And I'm like,
You're like, what happened?
"Whoa." I'm like, I'm just not an asshole to them like you guys.
And that is so hard for like, obviously I am unsure of what it is like to be a gay person, but that's so hard for someone when someone says, "What are you, gay?"
Yeah, what
and
if
it
they
comes
are?
out like that, and they're like, I mean, yeah, but if that's a bad thing, then what do I do now? You know what I mean? And it's so hard for a person. What are you, like, gay?
Yeah, it's like what if someone says that?
Why is it
to
an
you,
insult? Fuck you.
And they
Yeah,
and they are. Like what are you supposed to do in that
And
situation?
your man's fine as hell, and I'm stealing. Period. What you gonna do now, sis? What you gonna do now? Your man's gone.
Yeah, but that's one thing.
Call him an insult again. That's not an insult.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm kind of glad we kind of all grew out of, like as a society for the most part. Because I haven't seen it lately. Just like calling people
Calling
gay
things
as
you
a
don't like
derogatory.
gay.
Yeah, like as a derogatory term.
Right.
Because like now, especially with the LGBT community being so large,
Right. And so well known now. They're
Yeah.
not afraid of themselves no more. And it is so empowering. They're like, what are you, gay? Yes, bitch. And like,
yeah, it's like,
and then oh my God, and then that is such a deeper topic within the toxic masculinity, like the masculine community, is transgender men.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I've never, to my knowledge, I don't think I've ever came in contact with someone going through transgender processes. Yeah, transitioning.
But see, and then there's the lack of experience that now is a lack of knowledge that now is ignorance.
Right.
And that's where it comes in with having an opportunity to learn about the world, and that's what I was talking about in a paper I'm writing. It's about like why we should have diversity classes.
Right.
And my English professor was like, why do you think that is something that needs to be discussed? That's like a heavy argument. Can you write a 10-page paper about that? I'm like, sis, it's already done.
Well, I'm taking a diversity class this semester. And like I went in to do my teaching observation, and just going into a high school like that was so different from ours. Like we were talking about earlier, at our school, African American was the minority.
Right.
At this school, Caucasian was the minority.
It hits.
And I was like, whoa, this is like, I could feel everyone looking at me and just kind of like dissecting me as a person.
And that's how and I'm so not glad, but thankful that experience is now something that's embedded in your brain, because that's exactly how it felt for my brother.
Yeah, no, I have a whole new like respect.
Like perspective on things.
Perspective, yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty. I should take pictures there.
No, but it was nuts. Like,
and it's hard,
it was students. There was a student from Sweden, there was a student from Switzerland, there was gay students, there was transitioning students. And it was just this whole new ball game from what I was used to. I was used to just, there's a straight male, there's a straight female, they're all white. This is our school.
Right. Welcome to our small school.
Yeah. And it's not even that was a bad thing, it's just how the school was.
Right. And it's not like I didn't get bullied, but then again, I still had that feeling, I wasn't white enough to be white, so I was singled out, but I was not black enough to be black, so I was then singled out.
But then you went to college.
And then I went to college, and I got some black bitches, they look at me, they say, ooh, your skin glowing, a mixed queen. And I'm like, oh.
It's
so you were talking about that the other day.
Yeah,
you were
it's just like
I'm
this
so
whole
glad.
new respect. Like, it's just a great feeling of new acceptance.
Right.
Not that you weren't accepted, but it's just like, now there's full acceptance.
Right. They're like, because I was talking to my roommate about it, and she's like, just because you're not white enough to be white, black enough to be black, you're mixed enough to be mixed. You're woman enough to be a woman.
Yeah.
You're human enough to be human. So if it does not, the thing that you need to worry about right now is accepting yourself for who you are and what are you.
Right.
It is not, you don't need to fit in a category, and that's what makes someone beautiful. Like, you don't, like, literally every human does not fit in one singular category.
Yeah.
Because we're all individualistic.
We're human. We're ever changing. We're ever evolving.
Right. And it's
adapt to whatever we have to go through.
And that's what my mom, like, she was hyping me up. She's like, you've got beautiful black women in your life now that have empowered you into being a mixed, beautiful woman.
Right.
Like, you don't have to, and it's not just mixed with black and white that people are having troubles with, like, identifying with. It's, like, black and Hispanic. Like, you've got, like, you know what I mean? Just, like, so many more, but I feel
it's just trying to fit, like, you focus more on trying to fit into one group.
It's like matching a spoon and a fork. It just doesn't. They're both beautiful in their own way. They're both useful in their own way, but you just don't do that.
Do it.
They don't fit, and it's loud and annoying, so stop doing it. Where are we?
Oh, we're just out and about. I know where we are, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Oh! We're just chilling.
Yeah.
Are you gonna kill me?
But I think we've hit all the bases of this stuff that we really need to hit.
There's never a basis with you. We just talk. You're just like, also, and I'm like, God!
You didn't have to make it sound so hurtful.
But
But this was great. I loved it. Nice,
you did.
nice meeting you.
We have to have like a transition. Da 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 da. Ew.